If you've ever been right in the middle of a zone where you're focused and the melodies are flowing, and suddenly your computer is hit with a Windows error, maybe an ASIO driver, or your CPU redlines and spikes every time you load plugins, especially maybe one lonely serum one. If you've ever felt that feeling, then you need to hear about the newly announced Apple M5 MacBook Air. Apple just dropped this new machine, and let me be completely real with you. It's going to completely change the math for bedroom producers. I'm going to break down exactly why this model, not the M5 Pro, not the M5 Max, but the MacBook M5 Air is the sweet spot for you if you're looking to upgrade your studio laptop. I'm going to tell you whether or not the new base specs actually justify the price tag. Let's talk about your setup for a second. Let's talk about how it actually feels to make music. Because music production isn't about raw mathematics and processing cores. It is about workflow. It's about catching inspiration, hopefully before it disappears. And the new MacBook M5 Air is fanless. It's completely silent, always. Whether you have a simple piano melody or an orchestral masterpiece worth 90 tracks, that thing is going to stay silent. It is clean, it is portable, and thanks to the macOS core audio, friction is gone. You don't have to spend 20 minutes downloading ASIO for all drivers or anything like that. All you gotta do is plug in, open your DAW, and you're good to go. The lack of friction, this is what keeps you in your workflow. But here is my favorite thing about this new announcement, and I feel like it's a hidden gem that no one really talks about. Apple decided to remove the 256GB base model for storage. For years, Apple have been forcing us to go for the higher tier option and pay the Apple tax. Otherwise, you get no storage. But not anymore. The base model starts at 512 gigabytes of storage and 16 gigabytes of RAM. Do you know what that means for us producers? It means you can actually install the full package of Omnisphere. It means you can install splice samples. It means you can install massive Kontakt libraries and everything you actually need without having storage anxiety. You don't need to look like a cyborg anymore, where you have Velcro SSDs stuck to the back of your screen while you're trying to make a beat. Let's talk about raw power, because this is where things get genuinely entertaining. I want you to imagine this. You've got a session, a proper session. You've got audio samples, you got audio recordings, you got effects, you got MIDI tracks, you got instrumentals, you got automation, you got aux sends. You've got it all. On a normal laptop, you know what happens? You click play, it starts to hesitate, and then you hear some clicks, and then finally, if the audio gods let you, it plays. When you push a mastered session on the M5, I don't think it's going to choke, it's not going to stutter, it's going to feel smooth and fluid. Zooming into audio waveforms, cutting, slicing, splitting, moving around the timeline, it's going to feel effortless. It moves to the speed of your thoughts. And you know the secret sauce? The thing that makes this feel like magic is the new SSD speeds. Apple tend to make really bold claims about the SSD speed, like it's this much faster. And usually I roll my eyes because, it's like the same thing every year. How much faster can it actually get? But for us as producers, SSD speeds isn't just a benchmark. It translates to lightning fast load up speed. Think about your current workflow. Think about staring at the loading bar. You pull up a massive multi-gigabyte piano patch. You just sit there, you wait for it to load. And sometimes you forget your melody. Or you decide to drop out the drum library in the middle of the mix, and you just have to wait for your system to hang for maybe 5 seconds. On the M5, I honestly think the wait time will be gone. It'll be almost instant. You click a patch and you just play. And for anybody in the comments section that's going to ask me about the CPU limits, let's talk about that real quick. The M5 chip is a 10-core CPU. So what does that mean in English? It means you can run multiple heavy plugins simultaneously. You can have iZotope Ozone mastering plugin on your mastering track, and then have FabFilter Pro Q EQ on literally every single channel in the mix. You're going to be able to do all of this all at once without a single dropout, without any buffer. You don't have to look at the top of your screen for the CPU usage in your DAW, like checking your bank account before you buy groceries. You just mix. Now, let's get down to business. The big question, the reason you clicked on this video. Is getting the M5 Air actually better than spending a few $1,000s more on the M5 MacBook Pro? Or should you just get a max spec Windows gaming laptop for a similar price? I'm going to give you my honest, unfiltered truth right now. If you already own an M3 or M4 MacBook Air, then just close this video. Save your money. You don't need this upgrade. I mean, the jump is great, but it's not like throw away a perfectly good laptop grade. If you own a Windows laptop, or you still have an old Intel Mac that sounds like a hairdryer, and you want completely frictionless creative process, the M5 wins, hands down. It completely destroys the competition in this price bracket. You don't need the Pro model. Let me repeat that again. You do not need to spend extra $1,000 on the Pro model. Unless you are a professional mixing engineer, you have 128 spatial audio tracks, and you're mixing for a feature film, then that's overkill. So let's split the matrix. Who is this actually for? If you are a singer-songwriter and you record, say, 2 tracks, one's your vocals, one's an acoustic guitar, and you use GarageBand, honestly, save your money, go to eBay, buy an M1 instead, or check out the new MacBook Neo. If you're a veteran producer and you've got massive synths, your mix is dense, saturated, and you've got modern arrangements, and you don't want to fight your computer anymore or feel anxiety because it's going to crash, then, I mean, at $1099, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, to me, this feels like a steal. It is the ultimate value music production hub for producers. I decided to run a stress test on the M5 MacBook Pro just to test the CPU performance. Now I know that one has a fan, so I'm just going to reduce the results a little bit. I opened up Logic Pro. I loaded up a heavy Kontakt sample library. I duplicated that 3 times maybe, and I downloaded some MIDI tracks online just to test it. And on my old Intel CPU, it would be crying after, say, 5 or 10. But on the M5 chip, it didn't crack not even until like 30 tracks in. The performance is going to be a little bit less on the Air because it's fanless and it can't cool it down quicker. But I think this is the new standard. It's so powerful. If you plan on upgrading to the M5, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one.